What I do know, what I really do know, is because coming from the state I come from, of West Virginia, truly a gun culture state, truly a state that will protect and defend the Second Amendment as much as any state in the nation, that law-abiding gun owners, when you give them the facts, they'll make the right decision. And I've been working it for a couple of months, going back home every weekend I could. I talked to every gun group I could talk to. I listened to them. They had an awful lot of input. They told me certain things that they were concerned about. We looked at it and we tried to have the language that took care of those concerns. And I've got to be honest with you, I took the position that this bill had to be a balanced bill. I wanted to make sure that we left no loopholes in the gun shows and left no loopholes in internet sales. I'm sure there's so many people who says it didn't go far enough, and I've said this is not the president's bill, it's not Chuck Schumer's bill, and they keep wanting to blame, well, it's a liberal, it's the president, and we're mad, you know, that whole scenario that plays out every day. And they were able to move to the middle, which I give them a lot of credit for. I mean, my goodness, I'm sure it's not the bill that they would have wanted. And on the other hand, I had people from the other side that was willing, I mean, truly responsible, law-abiding gun owners who said, this is reasonable. And I said this from the NRA. I could have accepted their position saying, listen, we tried background checks. It didn't work as well as it should have. Well, it did work, but it didn't work as well as it should have and could have, and they were right. And I said, fine, I took your information, I took your input, and if you look in the bill, we put money to fix it, and we put penalties to make sure that the states do it. So it was an unfunded mandate. And if they would have just said, listen, we're still going to oppose this because we think it's government overreaching. If they'd have taken that position, I said, well, I disagree with you. And they said, not only are they overreaching, it's the first step. They're going to do more. And I said, well, I can't stop people from doing more. I can only tell you that what we've done is right. And you know it's right. And I wish you would be factual with your information you're putting out, so let people make the decision on their own. So I've been imploring everybody to read the bill. The more people that read it, the more people we have supported.
Senator, the NRA said yesterday that the bill would have criminalized certain private transfers of firearms between honest citizens, requiring lifelong friends, neighbors, and some family members to get federal government permission to exercise a fundamental right. The president called that willful lying. Do you agree with him?
Let me tell you where they're coming. They're hanging on one thread, one little thread, and that's internet sales. Now, if you have a loving relationship with your family member and your best friend, and you've got to sell your gun on the internet, you better check that relationship. That's how far, you see how much crap that is? That's how far they went with that. That's just disingenuous. And I've told them that. So that's just a bunch of bullshit.
What happened here? The NRA didn't score the first vote, the procedural vote, and you got to 60 votes, and then you get to the substance, and suddenly they're scoring.
I really don't think they, I mean, if they truly polled their members and they said, I want you all to read this and give me your feedback. I asked them point blank, put the bill online, let them vote. Let people like myself vote on the bill, let me read it. Just do that for me. Don't editorialize it for me. Just put the facts out and let me see what happens. I begged them to do that. And I don't think that ever happened. I'm sure that what you're seeing, the twist that's put on everything. And I was very upset about that.